The following is the Akaka Bill congressional debate, which took place less than 1 month after the 5 days of public hearings in Honolulu.
H.R. 4904, a bill to express the policy of the United States regarding the United States relationship with Native Hawaiians and for other purposes.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Utah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of H.R. 4904, Congressman Neil Abercrombie's bill regarding the United States relationship with Native Hawaiians. The bill has been the subject of 5 days of hearings in Hawaii, jointly held by the House Resource Committee and the Senate Indian Affairs Committee this summer. The bill acknowledges a federal trust responsibility for Native Hawaiians and protects existing Native Hawaiian programs, which are legitimate and necessary due to unique historic circumstances.
Mr. Speaker, may I submit a statement for the record from myself, the ranking member on the committee, Mr. Miller of California, and Mr. Faleo Mavaenga of Samoa, the delegate from Samoa.
That is covered under general leave without objection, is certainly admitted.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, before I yield time to my colleague from Hawaii, may I thank Mr. Hansen in particular and the rest of the members of the committee, both Republican and Democrat, for their support of the bill, and may I express yet once again publicly through you to my chairman, Mr. Don Young of Alaska, my profound gratitude for his understanding, his concern, and his perseverance, dedication, and focus on this bill.
I want to compliment my colleague Neil Abercrombie for his leadership in crafting and getting this bill through the House Resources Committee in record time. After 5 days of extensive hearings in Hawaii, the bill was perfected and comes to the floor with a series of perfecting amendments. This bill is viewed as necessary following the Rice versus Cayetano decision, which struck down the state's effort to provide for self-determination by the Native Hawaiian people. The U.S. Supreme Court decision has immobilized our state in the performance of its mandated trust responsibility to the Native Hawaiian people, as elaborated in the public law that created the state of Hawaii. Without the power to conduct Native Hawaiian-only elections to manage programs for the benefit of the Native Hawaiians, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs is now left without the basic protections of self-government.
Thank you. I joined several witnesses who called for a referendum to establish first whether a governing entity should be created as a first step prior to seeking federal recognition.
The state of Hawaii had taken the first step to create a self-governing body. H.R. 4904 now sets the federal mechanism to correct the decision of Rice versus Cayetano. H.R. 4904 must pass.
The question is, will the House suspend the rules and pass the bill H.R. 4904 as amended? So many as are in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 of those present having voted in the affirmative, so many as are in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 of those present having voted in the affirmative, the rules are suspended, the bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. Without objection, the title is amended.
Hawaiians have waited long enough. They've suffered.
So there you have it, United States democracy in action. What's truly frightening about this so-called democracy of the United States is the comfort and ease that even top-level politicians exercise fraud. And indeed, as you've just witnessed, this film hereby charges Neil Abercrombie and Representative Mink, along with Daniel Inouye and Senator Daniel Akaka, with conspiracy to commit fraud. I myself witnessed the 5 days of public hearings in Honolulu, and I can assure you that of those 5 days of hearings, the vast majority of people spoke out in opposition of the bill, either outright or in its current form. No one could argue that this was a popular bill. Even more interesting than the charade that was played out at the United States Congress by Hawaii's representatives is the impetus for the Akaka bill in the first place. The Akaka bill was initiated to supposedly protect Native Hawaiian programs because of a court case, the Rice versus Cayetano case, in which a Big Island rancher, a white rancher, filed a lawsuit against the state of Hawaii, claiming that programs that benefited only Native Hawaiians were unconstitutional and discriminatory. The case was taken all the way to the United States Supreme Court. By U.S. law, an individual cannot file a lawsuit against a state in federal court unless the state consents. So, the state government of Hawaii consented to a lawsuit which it inevitably lost and therefore threatened all Native Hawaiian programs. If it truly wanted to protect Native Hawaiian programs, all it had to do was not consent, and no decision could have been ruled against it, and programs for Native Hawaiians would have been protected.